Check. I'm good. So I'm Max Ceron. CWB Association Welding podcast. Today we have a really cool guest. Welding podcast.
The show is about to begin.
Hello and welcome to the CWB Association podcast. My name is Max Ceron, and as always, we're here at Fabtech in sunny Florida, 2024. We're going to have such a good time this week. We're doing a tradition, though. This is the tradition that we've done every Fabtech for a few years now, and that is having our great interview with Rae Ripple. Rae, how are you?
Hi, I love this. I have to tell you, and everybody knows this. This is my favorite podcast to do every single year.
But why? Why?
Because
like, you got lots of cool people that...
You're cool. You're cool people. You're cool people. You're like y'all are some of my favorite humans on the planet. And so like being here and doing this with you and it just continuing to be a tradition is my favorite.
Well, you know, it's interesting because we chat throughout the year.
We do.
Right? We do like just a little, and it's not like, you know, like business talk. It's like, I found a pretty flower. Like, you know, like stuff like that. Because I feel like we kind of got a little bit of that vibe where we both have careers that take us out into the public and put us in front of people all the time with expectations. But at the end of the day, we're happy in our little rural towns because I still live in a small town in Canada. I don't live anywhere near Toronto or Vancouver, none of that crap. You know, like I got my lot with my garden and my boat and my trailer and my stuff. And I could just sit on my deck all day hanging out. And I feel like
Same,
right?
Same. Like, and it's funny because every time we do talk, we don't even say a word, not a lick of welding, nothing. Like, it's all just like flowers, plants, trees, water, the rain. Like, just think, like, I feel like almost we can be human with each other, you know? Because, like, sometimes outside of this, like, you have to, like, not be sometimes, you know?
You got to show different faces of the dice, right?
Yep.
Like, and sometimes people need, and it's not a wrong or a bad. I mean, we all do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got the face you show your family. You got the face you show your business. You got the face you show your whatever.
Yep.
And we have the face we show each other because I don't have these conversations with everybody either, right? Like,
same.
Last year when we did our interview was right after the Barbie movie came out and we had both watched it and we were pumped. We were like, that was literally the best movie ever. It should win every Academy Award. And it did.
Mm-hmm.
So it did pretty good. Now for this year, we were thinking and we're like, what are we going to do for a topic? And it's interesting because we've had busy years.
Yeah.
Right. We've had busy years. And when I was watching some of your stuff earlier in the year, and I've known you for a few years now, there's a kind of recurring theme, and I was actually thinking about this last night, like at 2 a.m. I was like, you know, there's a word that I start to think of forming in my mind when I think of Rae, and I think it means a lot of different things. And the word is freedom. Okay? And I know that you've used that term in different ways, you know, ride free, born free. We've talked about how we're very feral, and that freedom, but also danger you get from being feral. And, you know, in this last year, asking you now, you know, how's the road to freedom? Because it's a never-ending battle.
It is.
Right? It's a never-ending battle to find freedom for your spirit, freedom for your business, freedom for the family. There's all these layers to it. How's it been?
It's been tough.
Yeah.
But like the best kind of toughness, you know,
where
and
you get something back tough.
Yeah, you get something back. But you know, I have this theory, like, it's I don't know if it's like a thing or not, but it's like a flipping your pancake. Like, my pancake has been kind of like on one side for a while, and I just flipped it, and it's kind of browning on the other side right now, which has like been the greatest feeling. But it's not something that's easy because, you know, you try to make a pancake. The very first one is always screwed up. Every single time you pour a first pancake, it's always messed up. You go to flip it, it like messes up everything. Everything with it like screws up. So like I'm on like a pancake flip right now, and it's
like on pancake number 5.
Yeah, for sure. But no, it's exhilarating. It's frightening. It's terrifying. It's so much fear, so much scaredness, but also like so much freedom.
Yeah.
Like so much freedom. But like you have to have that exchange. Something has to go in order for you to get that
Yeah, there's
freedom.
a yin and yang. It's the exchange of energy in the universe. Nothing comes without a repercussion or an action. It's just the rules of life, right?
Yeah. And I was talking to somebody, it's your thoughts. Like there was a woman that actually came up to me on the show, and she's like, I've been watching you for so long. She's like, so what is it, the biggest struggle right now for you in your life? Like, what is the biggest struggle? And I'm like, it's the head. It's the head.
That never stops.
It never stops. So controlling this and like projecting whatever you put in the universe, it always comes and returns itself back, And so like, it's been that cycle of just like thoughts in and out. And so like, I kind of like in a weird sense of things feel like I like manifested all of this, for myself, just speaking it, just living
I
it.
believe in manifestation.
Yeah.
I believe that it's a fine line between skill and effort, but then there's a little piece in there, maybe a bigger piece, but there's a piece in there of you just believing that it's a thing.
Yep.
Like I just think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So it will. And really, how can anyone say it ain't?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because it's my brain, it's my body. If I want it to be that way, who's to say it's not? Right? What I find is wrong with that type, or not wrong, but difficult with that type of thinking, it's like building a sidewalk, and you can try so hard to make a beautiful sidewalk out of concrete, and it's strong, and you have the forms, and it's square, and it's pretty, and one little dandelion gets in there, a tree root, and it can upend the whole thing, and it's slow. Those slow little cracks that you don't notice are coming. Next thing you know, that thing that you so carefully built is cracked.
Yep.
And it was something that, you saw that weed 8 months ago, a year ago, and you're like, nah, no big deal.
Yep.
And they tend to try to crack in on your manifest, right? That is something that I struggle with all the time, because you can over-focus on career, you can over-focus on a lot of things, and you let little things that you think are covered slide.
Yep.
And they bite you in the butt, man.
They always do.
Yeah, they bite you in the butt.
They always do. And I'm a firm believer too in like whether you believe in God or the universe or what it is. But when you're in a situation or in life, the universe tends to make you so uncomfortable, it'll force you to move. And that's kind of what this year has been for me, But it's been like it's a year of chasing freedom and peace. Calmness, softness, which is something I've never really had in my life. And now I finally am starting to feel what that feels like, Yeah,
the very first time I interviewed you, we talked about how when you grow up in poverty, when you grow up afraid, you don't ever think past today. You're like, tomorrow's not a thing.
Right.
As you become more free and as you become more confident, you have the ability to start looking ahead and kind of, planning, which I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, but you start developing an idea of where you kind of want to be or where you want to get to, right?
Yep.
At this stage where you are, how far out is your dream right now? Like, do you got something way out that you're trying to get to, or is it kind of like you caught up to that line and you want to sit for a bit?
I think me, there's always something out there. There's always something else I'm chasing. I always have a new dream or a new goal that I'm trying to accomplish, and I always accomplish it, because I set it, and I'm after it.
It will be,
and it will be, and it will happen, and so like always right now, I think the biggest goal for my life was to seek freedom, to seek calmness, and to seek softness in my life, and also to realize that like being safe, you're safe. It's just change, right? That's like the biggest thing I'm trying to learn right now is I'm safe. It's just change. And like, that's something when you grow up in survival mode, you don't know how to live. You live in survival mode. And so I'm really just learning how to live, and be alive and feel alive. And
when you're safe and you're not used to being safe, it doesn't feel safe.
No.
It feels like a trick.
It feels like the shoe's going to drop at any moment, but like it's not this
Why
time,
would it? It's your shoe.
Yeah, like it's not this time, and and
if it did, you'd survive.
I always do.
And you'd learn and you'd move on, because it's not like life's going to stop throwing spaghetti at you. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's life. You know
Well,
what I mean?
listen, life. I like spaghetti a lot,
yeah.
you know, so I will eat all the spaghetti.
I feel like I can visibly prove that I like spaghetti quite a bit more, but
funny.
but you know it is true. Like I mean, you brought it up. You know the moving around. Everyone knows now you live in a different state, right?
I do. I left Texas.
Yeah, you left Texas, and now you are in Tennessee,
Nashville.
right? And how far of a move was that hours wise? Like,
I think on the map it's like almost 16 hours,
Okay.
but the actual move itself was like traveling there. It was like a 24-hour trip.
Oof.
It was insane. It was like the most intense moment of my life. Like I've been through some pretty scary stuff, you know, but this was like leaving Texas was something I never thought would happen.
No, I'd never even heard you mention it. Like,
yeah. It's like when I said the universe makes you so uncomfortable, eventually you have to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it was for me. Like, I think I was trying so hard to hang on to Texas.
Make it fit. Yeah.
But there's bigger plans out there for me. There's more. I'm a tree frog that was stuck in the desert. You know what I mean? And so, like, it was time. It was
Tree
so
frogs
much.
have the cutest little toes.
I have the cutest little nose,
Oh,
if that counts.
hey.
But yeah, I just and I knew nothing about the place I was moving. I knew nothing about the
was
town.
there research? Were you like, you know, I've always wanted to live there since I was 7 years old. Like,
No, I just jumped off of a cliff and I
Yeah.
built my plane on the way down, and I just somehow landed in the most beautiful place on earth. And I know other people could argue that, but like
beauty for you.
I
Yeah.
have trees the size of dinosaurs.
Well,
I
you
have
showed me
grass
your
and-
property. You got a
Oh,
lake right there. Like,
yeah, it's in my backyard. I mean, I have deer that live in my on my property. I
Yeah.
see them every morning. I drink coffee with them every morning. Little
Yeah.
Bambis. Like I'm manifesting a baby, like a baby deer right
you
now.
wanted to like come be your pet.
Yes, and like live in my house and stuff. You know,
They poop a lot, though. You know that,
that's
right?
fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
So do the kids.
Yeah.
You know. And
I was gonna ask you that, like.
kids came with.
Well, no, it's not. It's not even that. It was that element of, you know, you said like it was the most frightening thing you've ever had to do, and people, I think that like when you're done one frightening thing, you start comparing frightening things in your life, and it doesn't necessarily work like that. I feel like when you get older, taking risks is almost more frightening.
Oh,
Right? Because if you're 21 years old and you take a risk, you're just a 21-year-old. You got the rest of your life to figure it out. 25-year-old, 28-year-old, yeah, you can. 30-some-year-old,
I'm 39.
right? Things start getting tougher. Now you got kids that are older, their school, their friends, their things. Like, this is now not an easy decision. You need buy-in from everyone. You need support from everyone. Was it there? Your kids were down. Was this the Ripple family striking out a new claim?
Honestly, like I said, I said the universe makes you so uncomfortable, you're forced to move. Like in a sense, I wanted something different. I just didn't know what it was yet. And so when I moved, I actually didn't tell anybody. Like my manager knew, a very few people in my life knew. And then I kind of just did it because it was such a scary experience.
Yeah.
I'm moving my business, my plants, my motorcycles, my kids, my animals.
And you have a lot of plants.
Oh, a lot of plants. I rented
Yeah.
a U-Haul just for my plants. Like just for my plants.
Yeah,
The whole thing
yeah.
was full. I'll have to send you a photo so you can see
That's
it. But
awesome.
the entire thing was filled with plants. I had to cut my deer cactus
Oh, no.
in half just to get it. But it's already
can
growing.
Can you plant the top half?
Yeah,
Because you can do that with cactuses,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
I planted the top half and it's already growing like another big
Nice.
stalk out of this cactus, which is so funny and ironic in life, you know, because I'm safe. It's just change. And like everything that I was leaving behind got replenished times 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Everything's
cutting that.
flourishing.
Yeah, like cutting the cactus. I was so sad about cutting my cactus because I really didn't want to cut it. And I tried every way to get it to fit in the U-Haul and it
Yeah.
wouldn't fit. And it was kind of like my life in Texas. Try every way to get it
Yeah.
to fit. And it just wasn't going to fit. And sometimes when the door is trying to close, let it close. And stop trying to stick your
Universe
foot
is like,
in there.
yo, relax.
Yeah, like literally it was like
Yeah.
a relax. And like, it's cool how like even seeing my cactus over the last couple of months, because I've been in Tennessee since the end of May.
Mhm.
and seeing the way that my cactus is growing every day when I walk past it, I'm like, I'm growing like that.
Yeah, you're like, you and me both, bro.
Yeah, like,
Ow.
yeah, like it kind of, I really learned to just be grateful this year. Like that's like just being, I posted on Facebook in February of this year. And like I said, I kind of accidentally manifested this for my life. I said, I just want to wake up to a painted sunrise over a field of sunflowers with a walking distance to a lake. And I literally just moved there.
Live there now, yeah.
I literally just moved there. And I didn't think that that was something that was ever going to happen in my life. I think as my inner child, like I see my...
craved that. It was almost like a Disney vision, you know?
I see little Desi like sitting on the porch and... like just every time I'm outside my shop and every time I'm in the house, like I just think about my little self and how proud I should be of her for going through all of these things to get to this point. And so it's...
Do you think little Desi would be shocked?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah?
Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. Like, I think like for me growing up, like I said, it just, I never had even just a small amount of hope, you know, and nothing was supposed, this is not supposed to be like, I feel like sometimes that this isn't even my life, you know, but it just, God chooses you. And when he chooses you, you have to go. And that's just like, when you put on those magic glasses, you can't take them off, but you can use them for good or you can use it for evil. And I've just bound my life to using what the good Lord gave me for good.
Now, how was the change for your kids? They're all right?
Oh, yeah. They're loving it. They're loving it.
Space, lots of room for the dirt bikes.
Oh, yeah. And Cash is on a Harley now. So,
oh, my
he's
God,
on a Harley
he's so
now.
big.
Yeah. And Chloe's 20. She's got a pretty significant other. They're talking about getting married next year. Things like that.
Well, my daughter's pregnant.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah, I'm going to be grandpa in January.
I want to be a grandpa so bad.
Grandpa before 50.
I know. That's my goal. That's my goal. I have baby fever so bad, but no more babies for me because they're grown, obviously done. So it's like all my friends, like, when are y'all having babies? Like, I need babies in my life. Like, I already told Kristen, I was like, as soon as you have a baby, I'm moving in for like 3 months.
Well, I work from home, so I have friends that have babies, and they're like, oh, I wasn't able to go to my workout because, you know, the baby. I'm like, I work at home. Like, I will take your baby. I like babies. I like to hang out with babies. It's fun.
Oh, like, my God. I know. I have baby fever. Like I wanted a complete opposite life for myself in a sense when I was growing up. I wanted to have like 15 kids. And I literally did. I wanted to have so many kids. I wanted to be like the soccer mom and make dinner for my husband and like, you know, complete opposite for what I'm doing right now.
That's a very generic dream that I think it's like pushed into kids' heads, right?
It is, yeah.
Because like I wanted to have 15 kids and cook for my husband too, but I mean, it just never really worked out, man. Like,
I'm dying right now. That's so funny. Yeah, no, they're great. I think they needed the change too. Cash is homeschooled, so like the moving school stuff was pretty easy because he can just do homeschool from home and like ride motorcycles. He hangs out with me in the shop, you know, and he's making new friends. And the cool thing about the area that I live in, the lake goes down. We're learning a lot about the area because we just threw a dart and kind of ended up there, right? And so
you're the newcomers, right?
Oh, yeah. And so I'm learning about the lake, and the lake goes down every winter, and everybody rides their Polaris's and dirt bikes out there. And he's
flat space,
and he's driving now, so he can load up the bike, take it around 5 seconds to the bigger part of the lake and unload and ride his bike and come home or ride his dirt bike down there because we live in such a rural area. Like, it's nice.
You're not crossing roads. Yeah.
Nope.
What about like access? Do you feel like you have less access to the things that you were used to, or more, or it's better, or?
Oh, so much better. So like in West Texas, it was like traveling to a third world country literally to get to me. Like, it was 4 flights anywhere I went in the US. It was terrible. Like the terminals, where there's like 4 terminals, I think, and in Midland, you know, and it was, all the flights were always double too because you're going, you're going everywhere. And so like, even as far as like a Home Depot, I would have to go an hour and 15 to a Home Depot. Even though I'm like in the ruralest area ever, I have an Ulta, I have a Bath and Body Works, a Home Depot, a Lowe's, my metal supplier is closer, my gas supplier is closer, and I'm still within an hour of an international airport, which is so in all ways, like,
Yeah,
you know,
every
which
direction,
is so
yeah.
cool. And I have so many more connections and resources, and I feel like everybody has more access to me too
Really?
in
Can
Tennessee
that
versus
be a bad thing?
it can be, but for like what I do and
It's
the
okay,
people that
yeah.
have access to me, like those people are the ones that like
You're okay with.
yeah, I'm okay with. So like I actually have a lot more access to resources, better doctors, better everything, better hospitals, you know, just better people. I live in what they call the Bible Belt.
Oh.
Yeah, is what they call it.
I hope that's not as scary as it sounds.
It's not.
Yeah.
And like it's funny because like everybody says people in Texas are nice. Come to Tennessee. Those people are so nice. Like everywhere I go.
I've heard it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so sweet. The people are
Isn't
sweet.
Ian Johnson in Tennessee? How far is he from you?
I think he's about 45 minutes
Oh, really?
from me. Yeah, he's not far.
Are you guys like friends at all?
Yeah, we're homies. Mike Wolf, he's like a town over. Whistling Diesel's out there. Derek from Vice Grip Garage is out there. I hear a lot of people are moving to Tennessee. So
really,
I didn't even know that
until
like
you got there.
Yeah, I like seriously threw a dart, found my dream house, and like we moved quick, like 30 days gone.
But now that you're there, you can like sit on your like rocking chair with a piece of wheat in your mouth, and when new people show up, you can be like, "Took you long enough." Like,
oh yeah. Well, and my neighbors are great too. Everybody I'm around is great. Like and I've never had access to like good neighbors and like the commodity, the community, like that kind of stuff. They
can all hang out. You can just go and do stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were having a birthday party. Like I just built a sign for Miranda Lambert, and so they were having a birthday party while I was like outside building this sign. Like, we got hot dogs and hamburgers over here. You want to come over here? And I was like, heck yeah! Like, we've never had that like ever. Like, and where we were in Texas, it was so closed off. Like, we were very, 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 very private and homebodies. Like, because you know, like it's just like.
It was hard for people to even get to you.
Yeah,
right?
and it was just us there. And so like now we're like around people, like being able to talk and hang out with people, make friends, and like.
And you still got
like
enough space that you can disappear when you want to.
Oh, for sure. You got to drive down a long driveway to get to my house, which is nice. And it's hidden in the woods, up in the mountains, and so it's nice.
So are you like up a mountain, halfway up, foothills?
Like foothills of the mountains,
okay,
which is pretty cool. Like 10 minutes up is like you're up on top of the mountain. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
cool.
Lots of curves, the roads. Oh my gosh, the motorcycle riding. The motorcycle riding.
I was going to ask you, did any of this affect sponsorships? Did any of this affect professional contacts? You being in a different state, you moving. Was there any backlash from any of like the people that support you professionally?
Honestly, it's been tenfold higher,
better,
like because now they have better access to me too. Like I said, like nobody had access to West Texas, which is kind of crazy to think if you really think about it, because it's an oil filled country. You feel like all the oil field companies there. You would think all the manufacturing companies are there. Now I'm like close to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is all manufacturing, construction, you name it. Like everything is right there, and everybody's within a 4-hour distance, which is super cool, or 6 hours. And I drove in Texas my whole life. So 9-hour drive for me is like
nothing.
Nothing. And I'm going through 3 states in 9 hours versus just going to Houston in 9 hours, you know? So.
And like, what about, the weather? Are you going to get snow now? Are you in a place that gets cold now, or is it still summer all the time?
Listen, I get weather now.
Yeah, for real.
I get weather now. Like, if anybody knows West Texas, knows that West Texas is dirt. Just dirt. We get dust storms that look like
big dust tornadoes.
Like in the, what is that movie, The Mummy? Whenever the dust storms come in, that's a legit thing that happens in Texas and West Texas. And people don't really think that really kind of happens. But like the dirt is just too much, and it's all in the house. Everywhere you go, you can't get away from it. Like, it's so nice to be able to open my windows and there's a breeze that rolls through.
And you're not chewing dirt.
Oh, yeah. All my windows are open all the time. The heat, too, like this summer, this is my first summer in Tennessee, too. And so, like, it would be like the highest, I think I got like 90 degrees. I'm sure everybody's like, you just haven't been there yet, but long enough yet. But like, I would go into town and people are like, man, it's so hot out here, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, where?
Yeah,
like,
this is
is
awesome.
great. Like, I'm outside working in it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I love it. And then it's cold right now. Check the weather this morning. It was like 36 degrees.
Oh, that's just about freezing.
I love it. My plants are in and out. Like, I have, like I said, windows and doors open. I've never been able to do that. Like, ever. Like, ever. It's just.
So you're going to have to buy snowmobiles?
I don't. That would be dope.
I wonder if you get enough snow. Well, in the mountain you should.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Find out.
I know. I literally know nothing about the area, so I guess we'll find out.
Now, what about the shop? Bigger, smaller? You got more space for your shop? Is it all set up and ready to rock?
It's about the same. I am going to add on, of course, and just keep building, because now I have land, and so I can. So I have all the space to build and keep growing.
And this is yours. You bought it.
It's mine.
Yeah.
It's mine. Nobody can take it away from me.
Fingers.
Yes. Take it away from me now. You know, those kinds of things. Nobody can take it away. I'll never have to move again.
Yeah,
and as a product of your environment, my whole life, I've had to move every year, twice a year sometimes.
Dude, let me tell you a story that happened just before I came on this flight. I was sitting at home with my wife, and we were just chitting and chatting, and she knows my history and my life, and then she asked me, is this the house that you've lived in the longest? And I had never thought about that, because I moved so much as a kid that I was like, I don't know, how long we've been married? 9 years. How long we've had this house? 9 years.
Wow.
I'm like, yes, this is the longest I've ever been in a house. And that's a crazy thing to think, that most people grow up in houses their lives. And so I've never been in a place since I was born longer than 7 years. I started going through my entire life. Most of the time, it was 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. See,
but that's annoying as
oh, dude, to pack your stuff up and just keep moving. Like, and I'm struggling with, like, feeling like, even though it's my I love it. I love it so much. I'm struggling with we're not going to have to pick up and move again. So like hanging things and making it a home.
Making
like,
it real.
There's been a part of me that's like, I don't know. Should I do this? Because what if we do have to move? And I'm like, wait.
Why would I have to?
I own it. It's mine. And for anybody that has not bought a house before, first off, I know as a small business owner or as a business owner, it's very hard to buy a house on your own or whatever.
I wasn't able to buy my first house until I was 32.
Yeah, see,
right?
And so if you're in your 20s and you're thinking about buying a house and you can't, I'm 39, I just bought my first house. That's a big deal.
Oh,
and
for sure.
so also like you don't put that much pressure on yourself trying to own, but like I am just like, I'm grateful for this place. I feel like it was just handpicked from, from the sky for me, so I am struggling a bit with like trying to make it a home.
Well, it's fresh. It's fresh. You're
safe.
in.
It's changed.
Yeah,
you're safe. Yeah. It's changed.
And you're going to get to the point where that safety becomes creativity, right?
Yep.
Where you're like, okay, I don't feel I'm in danger. I can start opening that part of my brain where I can start looking at things in terms of what I want it to be.
Yeah.
Not just like, I like this wall, I'm going to hang something on it, but like, you know what? Maybe I need to paint the wall. Maybe I need to move something, right? Like,
well, you know what's funny is I love the Hannah Montana movie. I know,
No,
I know,
I get it.
but I love the Hannah Montana movie. Like, I love this show. I know I'm a nerd, but let me nerd out for a second. I have this shed that came with the property and it looks just like the shed from the Hannah Montana movie. So like I cannot wait to paint
like
flowers
with the white
on
windows.
it. I cannot wait to paint flowers on it. Like I've been waiting for it to get just a little bit cool enough to where I can just like go out there in the sun and just paint a mural on it. I cannot wait for that. Like it's perfect.
Gonna happen.
It's perfect. It's just
gonna
perfect. Yeah.
And then you got to call up Miley Cyrus and be like, yo.
Listen, she's from Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my girl.
Yo.
That's my girl.
Party in the USA.
Yes. So, I love it. And I'm like within 5 to 10 minutes from like probably 10 different waterfalls, like, which is pretty cool. So I'm like TLC right now chasing waterfalls, you know?
Are you?
Yeah, water
like
everywhere. No, but
Rip.
No, rest in peace. I'm around so much life and versus like so much just like life sucking chaos in West Texas, you know.
Not that I'm a deterrent of chaos. I think sometimes chaos has a purpose. sometimes if you don't know what to do, a little bit of chaos pushes you in
For sure.
in the right direction.
For sure.
But it's not good when it's not your chaos.
Yes. Yes.
If it's someone else's chaos
Mm-hmm.
that starts to pull you in, that's no bueno.
You are who you hang out with.
Mhm.
You are who you surround yourself with, even if it's just, you know,
Hom-
3, 4,
homies,
5
yeah,
people,
yeah.
or even just one person. That person can really take a toll on you, your
Mhm.
health, your life, your career, and you have to be controlling the mind. What you project into the universe always returns itself back in. And so who you hang out with is the exact same thing. Who your partner is with, who you're business in with, like in business with, you know, everything about your life
reflects
that. And
Yeah.
so like I was really, really feeling, I think, that a lot in West Texas, who I was hanging out with, who I was associated with, things
Yeah.
like that, and separating
It's
myself.
wearing you down. You
Yeah,
know?
very. It really does take a toll on you.
Well, and the other part of that we don't like to admit to ourselves is that we go all in. And if
And
we
I'm full
go
send.
right, and if we go all in, even if it's wrong, by the time we figure out it's wrong, we're
You're
all
in. You're
and then
in.
it's like, I was married for 10 years, got divorced, man. And everyone's like, why did you wait so long? Everyone hated her. Everything was terrible. And I was like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't even
yeah,
know.
You don't
Like,
know.
I consider myself a smart person. I just put my blinders on, and I guess you just feel like you went all in. This is what you get.
And I have a curse. Like, my curse is I'm full send in everything you do. And you'll hear me say full send, full send, full send. I'm 100%. I support every decision I make, even if it's the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Sometimes it bites me in the ass.
Yeah, it sure does.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it does. But I still 100% support every decision, because if you don't support your own decisions, then how can anybody else support you, you know?
And
so
you got to learn.
Yep. So supporting my decision, saw it through. It's not a failure. It's not a loss. It's just another notch in the belt.
I don't believe in the word failure.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you just you do or you do not, and you roll with it, right? It is what it is.
Well, and too, like, I think I'm very grateful for West Texas. I'm very grateful for what West Texas gave me, because had it not been for West Texas pushing me, then I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't have the career that I wouldn't have the art. I wouldn't have any of the things that Texas gave me. And so I'm taking all that and I'm putting it into love now. And this year, January 1st of this year, I made a decision that everything after this, my muse is going to be love. Everything that's going to be created after this is going to be created out of a place of love instead of a place of heartbreak. And it's really like benefited, you know, thoughts in the universe. If it's going to be love, it's going to be love that returns itself back. And it really has.
And love has many faces. It has many angles, right? People are like, oh, you just think everything's going to be happy?
No,
that's love doesn't mean happy necessarily.
Love is being scared.
Right, and
love
sad.
Is sad.
And love is many things, right?
Yeah,
so,
all of those things. But at the end of the day, it's the love, you know. Love is what pulls us
let's
through.
take our break for our sponsors now. We're already ripping through time like crazy here. So
we always do that,
every year we get in trouble. Danielle's like, stop it. So we're going to take our break for our sponsors right now. We'll be back right away here on the CWB Association podcast with Rae Ripple.
The CWB Association is new and improved and focused on you. We offer a free membership with lots of benefits to anyone interested in joining an association that is passionate about welding. We are committed to educating, informing, and connecting our workforce. Gain access to your free digital publication of the Weld magazine, free online training, conferences, and lots of giveaways. Reach out to your local CWB Association chapter today to connect with other welding professionals and share welding as a trade in your community. Build your career, stay informed, and support the Canadian welding industry. Join today and learn more at cwbassociation.org.
And we are back on the CWB Association podcast. Today we are in Fabtech 2024 doing our special series. And as tradition would have it, we have Rae here with us. We're going to continue from the first half. We were talking about this last year and the changes and the chase for freedom, the chase for love, the things that you are doing. And you have a privilege to do because you're a healthy, creative, you know, free-willed mind. And you have the ability to make change when you want, right? You're not ever convicted to anything, especially something bad. The movie. You had a movie made with you, about you.
Me.
What's that process? Someone calls you up and says, hey, Rae,
let's make a
let's
movie.
make a movie. Like, how does that work?
Actually, it was kind of, planting seeds in life. And I did the commercials for Northern Tool. I was
Right.
doing a lot of stuff with Northern Tool, and the production crew that filmed that commercial and I became really good friends. So I was going to do this other show, and they were asking me to join the union.
Right.
And so I called,
Like the UA, like the artist union, right?
yeah, what is it? SAG or
yeah.
whatever it is. So they were asking me to join the union, and so I called. Me and him became really good friends on set, and so I called him to ask him if he was a part of the actors union. Like, what is his thoughts? That conversation lasted 10 minutes, and then we dove like 4 hours and just into me. Like, he was very curious about my life, like things like that. And he was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna film something. I really feel like I need to film something with you one day. And then one day they showed up with $500,000 worth of equipment to my house.
You had to have known they were coming. It
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
like
it was-
ding dong.
It was a
Publishers.
process for sure.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
process for sure to get to that point, but it kind of was like they just showed up. We did a lot of deep dive stuff. Like, I think people see my life on social media and they see or think they have like
Access to you or
no, like I think people think that my life is just great all the time.
Oh, well, that's
You know
just
what I
silly.
mean? Yeah, I think that they, like, people just see my life. I put only what people want to see on social media. So this is like kind of like what it takes and how my life has really affected me out behind the scenes. I know
Yeah.
you think you see this happy-go-lucky person all the time, but really it requires a lot of work to control this.
Yeah, I find that statement interesting from you because I feel like since the first time I ever met you, first time we ever actually like had a talk, I didn't get happy-go-lucky.
Really?
Right? No, I to be honest, to be completely honest with you, I could see the sadness behind the eyes. And I could see that, but people like us see it in each other, right?
Because we're the same.
Because we're the same, and we know that, like, yeah, I'm awesome, everything's good, but there's some trauma in there.
Yeah, and
Right?
it requires a lot of work.
It does.
It does. It like to just live.
I've been going to a
sometimes.
shrink since I was 7.
Yeah, it's just 2 times a week for me. You know what I mean? Like, therapy.
It's part of life, man.
It's a part of life, but
yeah.
it takes a lot of work to be able to just function sometimes. And it takes a lot of work sometimes to even just find a reason to get out of bed. And I think people, we need to be able to see the vulnerability of
Be
that.
honest about that.
And
yeah.
I'm very, very open and honest about my life. I will tell you everything you want to know because eventually I'm not going to be here one day, and I want the
And
world
who's
to
going to tell
have
the
this.
story? Yeah.
Yeah, I want the world to have this because, like I said, I was chosen to put on the magic glasses,
Yeah.
and now I can't take them off. And so this is that deep dive behind what you might see on social media and the work and the dedication and the
Hardship.
hardship into putting it into back into myself. You know what I mean? And so
So what's the premise? Is it over like a span of time, or are we going back to like here's 10-year-old Rae to today? Like,
it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you so you can watch the screener. It is heavy.
Is there a release?
Not yet, because it's running things
It's
right
doing the
now.
circuit,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's in the circuit. So it's in 2 Academy nominated festivals right now. It's up for Best Documentary. And it's done, like, we've got a lot of really big names on the film. We have got
Good.
Company 3. We have people
Nice.
that are like huge in the industry that have been working on this film. We have Ryex and Bear Mountain
It's
as
full
the
length,
music.
hour and a half, 2
It's,
hours. Yeah.
It's a short documentary, so it's
Okay.
a short film. So basically, it's about this pivotal moment in my life where I realized that I need to live. I
Yeah.
need to learn to live.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what it's about. And so, it's weird how, like, I thought I was okay
You started peeling it open again.
until
yeah.
we filmed, and I realized that I was just blanketing a lot of things,
Yeah.
and really just put in a lot of work into my PTSD, because I do suffer with PTSD, and so, like, putting a lot of work into myself,
Right.
investing in myself, and less caring about everything else, and just focusing on this. You know, this is the biggest challenge for me right now. Not that it's like I'm in a bad place or anything like that.
It's just a work in progress.
Every day it's a work in progress. And so this is a film that reflects that, just the work in progress every day.
Did you feel like it was an honor to be asked to make a movie? Or were you worried that perhaps this is just another possible person that's looking to use Rae to get success? Because there's always an aspect of who wants to do something with you and why. Right?
No.
No.
I honestly,
because I would be a skeptic like that. I'd be like, why?
I was very, very safe
Yeah.
with Michael, Dan, and all of them, Jay, all of them. I was very, very, very safe with them. And they didn't push. They didn't nothing. We let things come out naturally as they went. And it's the universe, you know, the universe chooses you in that moment. And it's wild because like things that were happening while we were filming were like reflections of a 10-year cycle. Like
all condensed in.
Like it was like things were happening and I was like, it would click in something, like something would click from like 10 years ago. I'm like, oh, right. Wait, this is why. And like like for instance, I made one of my very first sculptures, not welded, was a dress that I made that's a reflection of my life. Every piece of it represents something. And if you do a deep dive into my Instagram, you'll find it. Her name is Monet. My middle name is Monet. And a lot of people don't know that. But so it's been this direct reflection of my life. But like I kind of have been carrying it around like it's baggage.
Like you still have it? Yeah. Did you ever sell it? No.
Well, it's a funny story. So like I've been carrying this dress around for a long time as baggage. And while we were filming, I was showing them the property and they were, it was in storage. You know, I didn't even want to look at it. Like it just is just there. And he was like, can we film this? What's the story behind it? And I was like, honestly, I really just want to set this on fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm done with it.
He's like, great, let's film it. And so, but I was like, no. It stays. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to nothing. And then we got into this interview and I don't really open up a lot about, deep dive into my dad, I guess you can say.
Okay, yeah.
And so in the interview, I kind of really opened up. Yeah. I went there and like after we were done, I was like, you know what? It's time. Like I really think it's time. And so we lit them on fire. And I felt freedom.
Yeah, freedom. Did you feel that snap?
I feel like I finally got to let a lot of things go. And it's so, and then the premiere happened in March of this year.
Where was the premiere?
In Palm Springs.
Okay.
And so, and then the premiere happened and then my life completely changed. It was like that 10-year cycle. I built that dress 10 years ago and I don't know why I built it. It was a dream I had and it came to me like literally how to build it, what I was going to do with it, that kind of thing. And it was like a complete opposite expectation of what I thought it was going to be. That's why I just carried it around like baggage. And so now it makes sense.
That's what it represented. Yeah.
It makes sense why I had to build it. I had to build it because I had to become this person I am today in order to let go of that person. It was almost like a shield of armor for the last 10 years that I've been wearing kind of secretly like under the clothes, you know, and like letting that go, lighting it on fire. And then my whole life changed. And now I'm in Tennessee. Like, I think we don't understand things a lot of the times. Yeah. I think even when they're happening, whether it was yesterday, a week ago, or even, you know, 10 years, like I think I didn't really understand that part of my life. And there's still a lot of things like, why? I have to have a reason for everything.
I don't think there always is.
No. And I didn't have a reason for 10 years. And sometimes it just reveals
came around.
Yeah, it just reveals itself. So I think within the film, like it really was it just really showed me that like, man, I'm on the right track. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm on the right track and I'm doing exactly what I was supposed to do with the dress when I had the dream. And
so have you stopped to think about what you're doing today might mean in 10 years from now?
Yeah. I do every day.
Because you crack that window and you start seeing those connections. Because I do it all the time too. It's like 10 years ago, I haven't done a hard drug in 10 years. I don't know if I should even talk about that, but 10
It's fine.
years, right? 10 years. And, 10 years from now, what am I going to be able to say that I've achieved? 10 years from now, what am I going to say that I've accomplished and be proud of myself for? They might be simple, stupid things, but to me, they might matter. To somebody else, it doesn't mean anything. But it doesn't have to. Doesn't matter.
I find I'm going to be a titty baby for a second, but I literally find myself crying at least once a day. And it's not even like a crying of like sadness,
It's
but
like a
like
release,
I feel like for the first time in my life, I really can just cry.
Just let it out.
Like just like finally just decompress like everything I've been holding on to. And it's crazy how filming that movie to the premiere to where my life is now over the span of 10 years, like how, like, I feel like finally, like, I'm like being able to breathe, like in a sense, even though I haven't got
the catharsis of it, right?
Yeah, I haven't got really to the point where I enjoy it yet. I'm still working on that part. But as far as like the actual, like, taking the deep breath out and like being able to just release some things that I really have been hanging on to for a very long time,
now, the making of the movie, the release, the whole package. Now, is this a possible another project in Rae's world? Is this?
Honey, we plant seeds to grow trees.
Film here, like, yeah.
Well, and I do a lot of filming too. I mean, like we film a lot for Hypertherm 2 now, and then like filming for Harley Davidson commercials, other TV stuff. So I know that this is a seed that's gonna reveal itself into a beautiful tree in even 10 more years. Or maybe it's not 10 years. Maybe it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't know, but
bamboo can grow up to 3 feet a day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a bamboo. We don't know.
Right? You never know. Yeah.
But it's like, I'm very proud of it. I've only watched it 1.5 times.
Was it hard?
The premiere even too, like, and I love Kristen so much because like even during the premiere, like just holding her hand in the theater and she got up with me to leave, she got up with me to leave and just be with me in a moment outside of the theater while everybody else was watching it. But what's crazy is like after we were done, everybody left the theater. One woman come up to me and she works for Child Protective Services and she was like, "I'm so sorry your state failed you."
Yeah.
And that's the first time anybody has ever said that to me. "I'm so sorry your state failed you," because they did. And they fail kids every single day, which is a terrible thing to say. And so like I really hope that this kind of shines light on all these kids that are getting lost in the system and being products of their environment and that don't find a way out. This is why I love the trades so much, because the trades really have saved my life. The hard work, the hands-on, the everything that comes with it is really, truly transformed and changed my life. And like, I want other people to see that. I need other kids that are like me, that are being felt by their state.
Well, that was basically one of the first conversations we had because I'm a refugee from a war.
Yep.
And it was the trades that saved my family's life. My dad got a job as a boilermaker in Canada. Boom. There's the rest of the story. Without the trades in my life and my family's life, who knows? Who knows what would have been, right? Like,
oh yeah.
So, movies aside, now it's rolling because we could talk about that for a while, right? We're coming up on an hour here, so we're at Fabtech. What was the mission for this Fabtech? There's always a goal. Last year what was the project you did last year?
I had a hood last year.
Right, the hood. This year, when I talked to you like 3 months ago, you're like, the Mach 1 is coming.
Yes.
Everyone saw the Mach 1, and I was like sad the Mach 1 was getting cut up.
At least there's a second gen.
Yeah,
not a first
right,
gen.
right. But I have a Mustang. Like, I love my Mustangs. But then it's not here.
No.
Right. And I think there's obviously a number of things that factored into that. Probably hurricane, I assume, would be one of them.
2 of them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's a problem. But, is the Mustang still project a go? Is it done? Like,
so sadly, the Mustang, I was going to try to finish it here, but 2 hurricanes, one hit Tennessee and North Carolina. And then on top of that, Milton just rolled through a couple of, a week
like 4 days ago?
It just rolled through. So at one point, like Fabtech, we didn't even think was going to happen. And then when they said green, go light, at that point, it was like almost not too late to bring it, but the roads to get here and the devastation and like, I just almost felt like
too much.
it was too much. And like too many people are suffering right now and lost everything. I do not feel like my heart can't do it. My heart can't do it. So my team, we talked about it. We made a conscious decision. Like, I just think it's best that we wait and save that for something else.
So it's going to be on hold until the right.
Well, I'm still going to cut it. It's still a build. We just got word O'Reilly's is sponsoring the build. So all of the parts are taken care of.
So does it run right now?
Oh, it doesn't run yet.
Close?
It has a 351 Cleveland CC transmission. It needs some love on the inside, and obviously new wiring because I burnt it all up. But so it's going to be, it will run and drive. And it was running and driving at one point. The motor was rebuilt and sat back in. So I just got to kind of reconnect things. The front end needs some work. It needs a radiator,
but
those kinds of things.
You're allowed to drive it on the street once it's done, can you?
Oh,
I don't know the rules in Tennessee.
I think the only thing that I'm worried about is this is the first unibody car that I've ever cut.
It's not going to have the structural strength.
Right. So I've been doing a lot of research on subframes. And so crazy thing is I'm a welder. And I've been doing a lot of research on the specs of like subframes for the Mach 1 Mustang. And so
there's a lot out there for it. Yeah.
I'm just going to build a subframe for it. And it's honestly the integrity. People are so like, oh my God, there goes the structural integrity of the car. But it's like the integrity is more on the inside.
The panels are just on the outside.
Yeah, they're just panels. It's not. If the panels were supporting everything on that car, it would crumble like a can anyways.
Can plasma cut glass?
No. I wish. No. I wish. I want to get into glass so bad.
Yeah, no, I've been thinking about getting into glass too.
Whenever you're ready, let's do it together, baby.
It'd be super fun. It's like, maybe you could get a spare windshield and cut the pattern with like a water jet. And
that would be dope.
Don't listen to me. I'm not an artist. You're like, that's dumb, actually.
No, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna build a subframe for it. It will run and drive. I'm gonna tag it. I'm gonna inspect it, like all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. I basically am building the resume on it. It is not my car, even though it's my car.
Mm-hmm.
This car is not my car. I think that's that way with all
art. Whose car is it?
Whoever it belongs to.
Oh,
whoever
the purchaser, maybe.
Yeah, I don't create art for myself. I do not. Even though I have a couple of my own personal pieces, I never create art for myself. I create it for somebody else.
Somewhere, yeah.
So it is mine right now. I'm going to build the resume on it, get it to some really cool places. I would love to take it to Roadkill Nights, do the burnout contest, because I could just imagine just shredding tires.
And the smoke coming through the panels, right?
So I have goals and dreams and things seeds I'm going to plant with it. And then whoever it belongs to, it'll end up where it belongs.
What color do you envision it when it's done?
I'm actually going to take it back down to the original, like, copper red.
Is that what it was originally?
That's what it was. Okay. And that blue has got to go. And whoever painted it, if you're watching this, you did a terrible, terrible, terrible job.
How's it like cutting through Bondo? Isn't that a lovely smell?
It's terrible. It's terrible. But somebody reached out to me on Instagram, was like, hey, you just take a torch, it burns off. It's like plastic. So just burning off Bondo. Trying to get it going. Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, it is.
It's really gross.
Yeah.
What's wild is there's a lot of lead in cars that I didn't know was a thing in the older model vehicles. So it still explodes and gets all over your clothes. You can't get it out.
No.
It burns.
It stains.
Out of your skin.
Yeah, it does.
But I have huge plans for that thing. So even though it didn't make it here, just know big things are coming.
And what you did here at Fabtech was the panel with the cutting, right?
Yep, all freehand.
That was all to show off the sync system, right?
Yep.
And is that the new one, which is like the one cartridge switch out?
Yes.
So we interviewed the intern or the upcoming successive CEO of Hypertherm a couple days ago, and he was telling me about the R&D that goes behind these programs, and it's like, when does it stop? It just keeps getting better and easier and better and easier, and they have people like you that can just show. Like I had people comment like, I stopped and I saw Rae. She could cut so fast with that thing, right? It's just like, zzz, right? And it's like, in your terms, you've been doing this for Hypertherm for a few years. How much has that technology changed in your short period of time here?
Well, I mean, just see what I do. Like it's changed. If you look at my work from the very beginning, whenever I started versus my work now, I had somebody come up to me and was like, "Man, you're really getting good." I'm like, I know. But having your equipment is what matters.
Yeah.
And so, Hypertherm, the plasma system, has really truly transformed my cut pattern, how I cut, how fast I cut, and it really helps a lot with warping because I'm really fast, which helps with warping because it helps with the heat. And so, showcasing it. I went to go visit the plant a couple of years ago. It's in New Hampshire. And the HR guy pulled me aside and he was like, I just want you to know when we hire new people, not everybody that they hire is in the welding industry, of course. And so he was like, when we hire new people and they don't understand, I've tried to explain to him what the system does.
They watch your videos?
Yeah, he just brings up my Instagram in hiring, like when he's hiring new people. He was like, because it immediately explains what our system does. And there's not anybody else that does that. And so it's pretty cool that like it's weird because this doesn't feel like my life, you know? And so like, it's crazy that just something my first piece of equipment was a plasma cutter. You know, I was cutting things up from the tow yard, and the fact that like just cutting those things up and the fire extinguishers up is really like planted that seed to let this tree grow is like, I'm very grateful.
Now, what else is going on? Because what have we missed? The movie, Harley, Hypertherm, the move, right? What else is going on in Rae's life? Like, I mean, that's a lot already.
Yeah, I have my second book coming out.
A children's book again? Yeah.
Nope, this
one.
A
grown-up book.
Yes, this one is poetry. The book is titled "The Intrusive Thoughts of an Influencer." I think we had that conversation. I actually hate the word influencer. So this is my intrusive thoughts. Basically, it's my diary entries for the last like 10 years. You know, talking about 10-year cycles. So it's going to look beautiful on the outside and you're going to open it up and it's going to be
dark and dreary.
Yeah. It's going to be real thoughts, real emotions because, you know, we're all human. We all bleed red. And I want people to see that there's more to what you see on Instagram, that I'm a human just like you. And we're all in this boat. We're all living for the first time. Everybody here is living for the first time. We don't know about anything, you know? And so like, this is that guidebook for the next person that's going through a heartbreak or just suffering or just being for a moment. You only got 5 seconds of happiness and then you're back into the sorrow. Like it seems almost as if it would be a dark, sad book, but really at the end of it, because like the beginning of it, and I didn't notice this until I started putting together my manuscript because I have to get it all together and in categories, like in chapters in a sense, because there's 86 pages right now. So putting it,
you want to flow, right?
Yeah, I want it to flow, but I also want it to be accurate in timeline.
Okay.
And so I got it all printed out and I had it all laid out and I was putting it together in the manuscript in my room and like reading some of the first things that I wrote versus like, you know, I woke up in January 1 of this year that my year was going to be a muse of love, you know, my place of love. And to see my writing transform over the last like 10 years, it's like, it's almost like a phoenix in itself, just in my writings, you know, like just in my poetry, like going from this really, really, really dark, cold place to like, I'm really seeing the light at the end of the tunnel now. And I think I need the world to see that. I want the world to see that because somebody else is going through the exact same thing. But also we think the things. We think the same things. You know, so.
I know, like when I talk to people about anxiety, I suffer from anxiety really bad. People are like, how do I suffer from anxiety? I do podcasts. I run a big company, all these things. I travel the world. But inside, I am like all the time.
I was just talking to my driver about anxiety poop. Having anxiety poop.
And I take meds. Like, it's not like I had to go get help. I had to figure it out, right? Because as a young person, you self-medicate. And, well, that don't work, kids. Like, if for a bit, but not for very long. So, you know.
And I choose not to. I should. I should be medicated. But I choose not to because I feel like that's where my art comes from.
I totally get that.
So I feel like if I do medicate,
it'll like numb it out. Yeah.
So, and I do therapy in different ways. Like I actually have therapy, and then I write. I'm outside. I'm with chickens. I'm with my farm
I love
now,
chickens.
and like I'm at
You should get those chickens with those little Beatles haircuts.
Well, you know,
What
okay.
are they called? You know, they got the little like
Funny thing about Tennessee and being in the mountains and the woods is there's a whole nother set of problems with animals.
Coyotes and
So I had 12 chickens whenever I got this house, and a fox broke into the coop and climbed it. I had wood buried too, a foot in the ground.
You dug under?
It slaughtered 10 of my chickens. And then on my way up here, I get a text message that says, Cash is pissed. And I was like, why? The dog next door
ate the other two chickens?
Ate one of the two I have left. And so now I only have one.
And he's going to be so lonely.
Oh, dude, he is mad. And Cass loves these chickens. Like, he lets them in the house. I'm like, get them out of the house. Like, they can't be in the house. And so,
they're not dirty.
No, he just brings them in the house because he's Cash, and
they
those
like
are his
being
animals.
snuggled.
Oh, he loves snuggling them. He spoils the heck out of these chickens. So now I'm gonna have to get him some new chickens. I think we're gonna do ducks a lot, and obviously a more secure prison for them. You know, which I live in La La Land, and I think, I just let them all out. They'll all get along together. All the animals, they're gonna be great.
They get beef. They have beef.
Oh, yeah. We had 2 hawks in the yard. So, like, it started with this hawk got one. And then I was, like, mortified. I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. This is my fault. I thought
put you
that
in a place of death.
I literally was trying to just let you out of poop and experience life and eat bugs. And this hawk just slaughtered you. And then I had to keep them put up. And then they still
got eaten.
This is crazy to me.
Ain't that a lesson of life?
It
Even
is.
a cage won't protect you.
It won't. Life is harsh.
Life is harsh. Yeah.
So, it's been fun.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap up the podcast here. I want to talk about the next 10-year cycle. That's been a nice, theme that you brought in that I like. I like that idea. You said you're 39. Where's 49-year-old Rae? Where do you see? What are some of the thoughts? By then you'll probably be grandma. Things will be happening. Kids will be grown up. What's kind of the vision that you're putting out there for yourself for the next 10-year win?
I think, of course, with my career, just double. I would love to double everything.
Can you handle double?
Yeah, I can handle everything, baby. Come on, bring it at me. I got it, like that kind of thing. Yeah. I would love to plant more flowers in my life, I think the next 10 years, like I said, waking up January 1 this year of everything after this is going to be created out of a place of love. I'm always planting trees. Time to plant flowers and enjoy them, And so for the next 10 years, I think that's what my life looks like. It's just more flowers, more stopping and smelling and enjoying. And just living.
Getting that balance.
Yeah, just living. Yeah. I put in the hard work. I've laid it down. I know my hands aren't going to work forever. And so that's why I've really been focusing on my plasma lab class, which we haven't talked about yet. I do a plasma lab class where I'm teaching people my patterns.
How often are you doing that?
Well, right now, the next class is in October, the end of October. I'm doing it twice a month.
Out of your place? Or?
So it's a virtual class. So anybody can take it anywhere in their own shop, use their own equipment, that kind of stuff, which is really, really cool over Zoom. Or we can do in-person classes. I offer classes at colleges, come and teach the plasma, like what the plasma can do.
And you have a passport, right?
I do. So
thoughts are brewing.
Yeah, so I think when we have welding school, I think the plasma part of welding school is this big compared to everything else. Right. And so I'm really trying to shape shift that in the industry. And so having the plasma class really transformed things. Good. So like that to doing more teaching, because I don't gatekeep anything. I know a lot of people artists, in the industry and artists have secrets and they want to keep those secrets close. I'll tell you anything. I'll teach you anything. You want to learn my pattern? I'll teach it, because eventually you're going to turn it into whatever you want to turn it into.
That's right. And it's still there's still execution. The execution still have to happen.
And I kind of like the thought of having little minions out there doing my dirty work, I
used to call all my students my chickadees.
Yeah.
My little chickadees, get out there. My little chickadees, because learn what I learned. Crush it. Go out there and be the best.
I have art everywhere. I have I have pieces that people are going to stand in front of when I'm long gone and say, man, I really would have loved her. You know, like I have that already. Now it's time to give it to someone else. Like I want to give it to them, give it to the kids. So that way what's next is going to be 10 times greater. You know what I mean? It's leaving. I'm just paving the road. I want to leave something behind for them. So I'm not gatekeeping nothing. I'm going to teach everything I can.
Well, now they at least got a house with 5 Harleys.
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
That's why I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, there's not going to be much of a will because I'm extremely irresponsible. But
you get Harley.
You got a house. You got a Mustang, a bar.
Yeah. You get a house. You get all my knickknacks I collected from the thrift store. And all the stuff that I collected in my house, all my knickknacks, and like I'm a thrift junkie, and so like everything that I have is actually valuable to the right person. To the right person. But so. Yeah, I find value in all of those things. But yeah, teaching, that's the next 10 years is like leaving more of myself in that aspect for somebody else to kind of make their own art. Because if you've seen the kids that are the sculptures that they're creating right now, like if I would have been doing that in high school, could you imagine where my work would be now? So like these kids are going to surpass me in 10 years. And I'm just honored and grateful that I get to give them some of
grandma.
My knowledge, you know. Yeah. I can't wait to sit back and just watch them all take off.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's always a blast. It's always great to see you. We got to figure out how to work, not just at Fabtech together, figure out something to do. Hopefully I can come visit your new place.
Dude, I told you I'm going to make you some spaghetti.
Yeah, I like spaghetti.
Hang out on my porch.
I like a lot of spaghetti.
Me too. Me too.
And we'll do any shout outs, anything you want to say to anybody? We good?
Just everybody. I love you guys. My kids. Kids, hi.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for following along. Thank you for being here for this episode. We're going to keep filming here at Fabtech. We got lots more of them coming. And make sure you keep downloading, sharing, and commenting, and use the new fan mail feature on our Buzzsprout website. So until the next episode, I'll catch you there.
We hope you enjoy the show.